Welcome to Passive Cash Flow, a channel dedicated to guiding you towards financial independence through sustainable passive income streams. In a previous video, I initiated a transformative journey towards success, emphasizing the importance of cultivating a mindset in our progression towards financial freedom. I will be creating a series of videos sharing parts of my journey to achieving financial freedom, hoping to provide some assistance to those in need of advice, direction, or even just motivation. The changes that financial freedom has brought to my life are truly remarkable. Therefore, in the first episode of this series, today, I want to share with you some of the values that financial freedom has brought to me. I hope that what I share will provide additional motivation for those who are continuing their journey towards financial freedom. Now, let's delve into the main content together. The first thing that everyone can probably guess is that financial freedom brings me freedom, as I just mentioned earlier. Before that, I had learned a lot about financial freedom. However, when I reached that milestone, I don't know why it didn't leave much of an impression on me. But then afterwards, I gradually began to taste its sweetness. I would like to share with you a story. That time, a non-governmental organization invited me to be an independent consultant for one of their projects, which was quite special. But the moment that left the deepest impression on me was during the negotiation process about the fee I would charge for my services in that project. That time, it was the first time I could speak frankly with them. The idea was that in my career, I had often been in the position of negotiating costs for the organizations I had represented, and later for myself. In many of those times, I used the phrase, "Cost is not an important issue." However, frankly speaking, I never got to say that phrase sincerely. More or less, I used it as a tactic in my negotiation skills. However, that day was the first time I sincerely wanted to tell them that the fee I would receive for that project really wasn't important to me. I told them that I sincerely wanted to accept this project, and even if there was no fee, I would still accept it. When I told them, that moment created a very strong impression on me, not only towards the partner, but also towards myself, because that was truly the first time in my working life that I got to say those words sincerely, in the most honest way. It was the first time I felt that money no longer controlled my life. I share this story not to boast that I don't need money, or that I'm superior in any way. In fact, for other projects, I'm still charging quite high. What I want to share is that when we can work without being controlled by money, that will be the time when I think we will be able to play the game of life according to our own rules. And for me, that is the most valuable value that I have received after achieving financial freedom. For most of us, when we work, the factor of money is always one of the most important factors. And because of that, in many cases, we are forced to choose to do things that we don't like just because it brings us a lot of income. Even I was like that. Before achieving financial freedom, there were many times when I had to grit my teeth to choose to do things that I didn't like, simply because it brought me more money. And when we can afford to lower the importance of the money factor, then automatically most of the things we do will be more joyful and meaningful. And for most of us, work always occupies a very large part of life. When it becomes joyful and happy, it also means that our life will become much happier. That is the most important thing, and perhaps it is also the most meaningful thing that financial freedom has brought to me. The second value, which is no less important, is that financial freedom has given me back the most precious thing in life, which is time. We all know that time is the only thing that everyone has in a limited amount. Here, we temporarily do not discuss the cases where people unfortunately pass away early. Except for those cases, regardless of wealth or status, we all have the same limited amount of time. Therefore, this is indeed the most valuable asset of each of us. And the most effective way to use this resource is that we can use it to exchange for joy and happiness every day. However, most of us, when controlled by money, are often forced to trade this most valuable asset. We have to exchange a child's graduation ceremony, or exchange family gatherings, or even exchange the last days to see our father before he passes away. Or simply, we are forced to exchange all our time for money. So we no longer have much time to cultivate and learn, no longer have much time to look around and seek new opportunities. So we can never escape the attraction of money. The truth is that the speed of my money-making has been faster and faster since I achieved financial freedom, while the time I spend on it is getting less and less. Then from there, it gives me more time to allow me to do more things, and those things help me create more value. Just like that, it becomes a reverse loop with the original loop. And most importantly, even though I do a lot of things, I always have the freedom to stop whenever I want. In a previous episode, I once shared with you that now, at any time, I always have something to do. But if I want, I can be free at any time. I no longer have to miss any important events of my loved ones and friends whom I value. I am allowed to travel and undertake journeys that sometimes last a month, something that was almost impossible before I achieved financial freedom. In general, I am completely allowed to use my time the way I want. That is the second valuable thing that financial freedom has brought to me. The third value, which is the consequence of the first and second values, is that it allows me to experience this world at all levels I desire. I often share with you that the world we are born into is incredibly vast, and there are so many things to experience. But the way it operates is similar to us entering a park. But if we want to play other games, we are forced to play the first game to get coins. Then from these coins, we can continue to play other games, and also from these coins, we can buy more time to continue to stay in the park. But in many cases, the amount of time we spend in the park, we just struggle to play that first game. However many coins we get, we are forced to exchange for time just to continue to stay in the park. Then, at the end of the day, when we look back, we only play one game forever. That game in reality is getting married, then going to work every day from morning to evening, rest, watch a little TV is considered the end of the day. Every year we get to go out a few times on holidays when it's crowded, the price is probably high. Just like that, day by day, month by month, we only play that one game. Then at the end of the journey looking back, we step into a park with so many games, but we ourselves only get to experience one game. And in its example, financial freedom is like a special ticket. On it, it has a line of text. It allows me not to have to work hard to play other games anymore. I am free to play any game I want, and I don't need to exchange coins for time anymore. I am free to fully experience a day in the park. Then at the end of the day looking back, I will get to experience all the games that I love. It is a metaphorical example, and in reality, when we live a life, not many people can from the day they achieve financial freedom. I have been able to do things that I could not do before. Things that are unlike anyone else's. I get to go to places where not many people have set foot. I get to undertake journeys that not many people get to undertake. And the more I travel, the more I realize that our world is vast, and it is very special. I still remember recent journeys on the days when I drove across the Gobi Desert in the Tibetan region. At that time, I turned to my companions and said that the strongest emotion I had then was that I felt very lucky. Lucky to be born in this world, and lucky to experience such special things. Those moments, those experiences, they are the priceless things that financial freedom has brought to me. Recently, the term financial freedom has started to be mentioned quite a lot. However, there are still many misconceptions about the values that financial freedom will bring to us. Most people think that having financial freedom helps us become wealthy, even to show off and boast to those around us. But in my opinion, the real value of financial freedom is not to be outwardly directed. It is not to prove anything to anyone. Through my sharing in today's episode, you can see that the real values that financial freedom brings to us are all inwardly directed, all to help us live a better quality life. From these foundations, we can return to create more value for those around us. Those are the real values that financial freedom has brought to me. I hope that these shares will somewhat help those of you who are still on this journey to understand more accurately the goal you are aiming for, as well as understand more about what you will receive after achieving those goals. And from there, we have more motivation to carry out these journeys. A journey that is quite difficult, but for me, it is extremely worth it. That is some of the content that I want to share with you in today's episode. If you find this content useful, please share it with your friends and relatives. In addition, as usual, because YouTube's algorithm prioritizes videos with many likes, so if you like this video, please click the like button to help our video reach more people. Thank you for your follow-up and wish you a peaceful day.